Is it just me, or does everybody have RBF when they're knitting? We are, again with the itchiness of my face every single time. No! I'm going to do a challenge of knitting 1 hour. I have been watching a ton of videos on YouTube, and everyone is doing the how much I can crochet in an hour, how much I can knit in an hour, how much I can do this in an hour. First of all, 1 hour is a big commitment. 1 hour of straight doing anything is a big commitment. And I'll tell you why. Because we have these phones that keep us busy, and well, actually I take that back. We could probably do this for an hour, be on our phones. That's really not much of a challenge, is it? Knitting. I'm going to knit for 1 consecutive hour. It is a very big commitment. What if I have to use the bathroom? What if I get thirsty? What if I have to use the bathroom because I get so thirsty? You're gonna try to knit for 1 hour. I'm gonna set a timer, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do 1 hour of knitting. So let me find my clock and hit the timer. We're gonna start the timer, and we're gonna start knitting in 1 hour. I feel like this should come with a disclaimer on basically, what the heck was that? That was disturbing. I feel like it should come with a disclaimer. So I have been trying to knit this sweater, this raglan sweater, and this is my very first raglan sweater. This is the 4th project I've knitted. I just started knitting a month ago. It is 2.5 US size needle, 2.5. So here's the needles. They're super tiny. They're 2.5 needles, and they're 3 millimeters. So they're super tiny. And yeah, so I'm not really sure what size UK size they are. I will make sure to add that to the screen. But these are super tiny. This is what I knit my first pair of socks. It's absolute torture trying to knit a sweater with 2.5 size needles. Never again for a very long time. I've been working on the sweater for a while, so yeah, at least a month. And this is, I'm seriously considering it, making not only a crop sweater, but a like super crop sweater, like a bralette maybe, or just something that will just cover my chest, because I'm kind of over it, super over it. Here it is, and we will start knitting an hour. I think I already started the timer. We'll refresh the timer. So let's refresh. I'm gonna cancel this, and we're gonna go ahead and start again. So here we go, start knitting for 1 hour. And oh, hold on. I have a stitch marker to show me the beginning of round. So here's my little stitch markers that I've placed on the sweater. So I'm going to go ahead and move the stitch marker all the way to the top so you can see how much progress I've made, because otherwise it's really going to be hard to tell how much progress I've made. So I'm going to put a stitch marker at the very beginning. We're going to start the timer for 1 hour. And let me start by showing you the beginning of round. So this is where we're going to start. I like to put this little stitch marker to kind of monitor my progress, and otherwise I just get kind of blinded by the stitches. And we're gonna go ahead and get started on the 1 hour. And yeah, so hopefully I make it pretty far. There is at least 245 stitches that I have to go around for the body itself. So yeah, so I'm gonna start the timer. Let's get this started and hit the start button. Okay, so let's begin the hour. Let's get to getting. This in place. Wish me luck. 1 hour, here we go. 1 hour seems like a long time, but it's actually not. It actually goes by a whole lot quicker than you might think, especially when you're timing yourself. But I think too, if you're timing yourself knitting, 1 hour does feel like a long time because you're actually staring at the clock, and it's like a boiled pot. A boiled pot never boils if you're staring at it. But that's actually not true, because it eventually will boil. It just might seem like it never will boil because you're actually staring at it. But if you're not paying attention to it, then it's going to seem like it's going a whole lot quicker. So I've actually taught myself to knit without looking down. I'm not the best at it, but I can kind of do it without looking at my needles, and it just kind of takes practice. And I still feel like I might make mistakes. I have to look down every now and then, but it definitely helps know that I don't have to look at it completely. So if I am watching a show and I want to see what's going on, I can do that, and I can do so. If you haven't tried continental knitting, you have to. That is like the best thing since sliced bread, let me tell you. I tried the American way of knitting, and I had no idea that it was basically taking off years of my life. Continental knitting. If you don't know, you do now. You're welcome. Just gonna keep on knitting, and we'll just kind of see how far we get along with that. And like I said, don't judge me. This is really small needles, and it does take a whole lot longer. It's not like I'm using super chunky. And don't judge me because I'm using tiny needles and I'm using fingering yarn. So it's not like I'm using super chunky yarn, you know? Do you guys want to see what I'm doing? I would think so, right? I could probably make that happen. Let's see if we can move you guys in a little closer. So here is my knitting and what I'm doing. Here we go. Now that I have you up close, I'm like not doing so well. Let's try to get into a better rhythm. So I hold my knitting the way I hold my crochet hook. I hold the yarn in my left hand. It just, probably should pay attention to see if I'm in frame. So what I do is I hold the yarn in my left hand so that way I can feed the yarn that way and basically knit right-handed. It makes it a lot easier for me because I am a crocheter. I was a crocheter first before I was a knitter. I actually never thought I was gonna like knitting. I thought it was gonna be boring. I don't know why. I think it's mainly because I thought, you know, only old ladies knit, and then I'm like, well, you know, clearly it's got to be boring if old ladies are doing it, but they're actually onto something. Knitting's quite addicting. I also read that Michelle Obama, she started knitting, which is really cool. I always feel like it's like one of those secret club society things that like when somebody starts knitting, it's one of those things where it's like a club. You feel kind of close to them and you can bond over a similar craft and trade, I feel like. The cool thing about it is I feel that anybody can knit. It's not one of those trades where you have to be good at math, or you do have to count a lot, but you don't have to be good at math. But I feel like anybody can learn how to knit. Any age, any gender, it doesn't matter. You can knit. And they have all different types of yarns, so that way you can find one that's more budget friendly, one that's not budget friendly, you know? So I'm also curious how many people are actually knitting for the full hour, you know? And crocheting for the full hour. Like, you're never gonna know. It's the beauty of camera editing. People could actually just record it and you would never know if they actually knit or crochet for the whole entire hour, you know? No, just me. Maybe it's because I have some trust issues. I don't trust people. It's just the way I was raised. You're supposed to, you know, like X-Files, trust no one. I think that's some good advice to follow by. I should really stay in frame. So here is what I've got so far. Just knitting round and round and round. Do you find yourself having to like push the thread up? I watch people knit and I feel like they never have to do that. It's just only me. I feel like it slows me down. I wonder if I should be using smaller needle cords. Maybe that's the reason why I feel like that. I notice when I use smaller knitting cords, it helps to where I don't have to keep pushing the thread around. It just kind of more or less does its own thing. Okay, so I'm just going round and round. My hands are cramping. Okay, now we're gonna start knitting. Okay, so around. No! Oh no, look what I did. I took it out. I pulled it out too much. No! I have to put this back in there. This is gonna take a while. Oh, this is gonna slow me down. No, I dropped a stitch. Look how many I dropped. It's so many. No! This is so bad. So bad. Oh no. Tragedy. Get my tool out and fix it and then get back to knitting again. This is so bad. This is gonna really slow me down. I'm so sad. I fixed this with my tool. This is a sad day. Put it through and I try to catch on one side. I try to put it through this side, this way, because if I go this way, I feel like I pull too many more out and the tension isn't good. Now we're back in business and now I can go back to knitting again. All right, here we go. Okay. Let's try not to do that again. You know, one thing I have noticed is that whenever I am knitting and like super concentrating on knitting, I have RBF. Is it just me or does everybody have RBF when they're knitting? Like I could knit like this, but I feel like that's creepy. Isn't that creepy? But then again, I don't know why I look so angry and upset when I am knitting and I'm concentrating. I guess my natural face just looks annoyed. That's the only thing I can think of. I just look like one angry knitter. All right, my hands are killing me. We're down to the last minute. It's a workout. All right, let's see how much I can get done in the last minute. Just go, go, go. Needles down, everyone. Needles down, hands up. Timer is done. Needles down. Okay, it's been an hour. Let's check our progress. Now, keep in mind, these are 2.5 US needle sizes, so I'm not gonna get as far. Somebody was using chunky yarn. My chair is so squeaky. It looks like I've got about an inch of progress done. So I have done about, I would say, 10 rows with 275 stitches. And with that, my hands are sore. I am so tired. So here is my chair is so squeaky. Here's the progress. I've done about 10 rows, about an inch worth, and this is 275 stitches all the way across around for the body. And so yeah, so that's about how far I've gotten in an hour, which is really good considering it is a 2.5 US needle size. And yeah, so I got a little bit more of this shirt done, and I'm seriously considering making it a crop. But yeah, so this was me knitting for an hour. Go ahead and challenge yourself. It was really fun. My hands were so sore after. I guess I take more breaks than I think, but yeah, taking a break every 30 minutes I think is crucial. I did have that little fiasco in the middle, that little hiccup. But yeah, so that's what I've done. And thanks for joining me. If you like more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.